Hey everyone, I'm going to jump right into something because I got a lot I want to cover today. My readings for today were Psalm 5, but I'm going to get into some other stuff. If you've been following my videos at all, you know I'm kind of stressing about this whole Bible version thing. And it's really hit me yesterday that I'm getting off track of what I'm supposed to be doing, and what we're supposed to be doing, as born-again Christians. We need to be sharing the Word. So I decided to make this video. Here's what inspired this video. Yesterday I got an email from a guy that follows some of my videos, and he seems to be a really cool guy. Always has kind words to say, but he's not a believer. And this email just bummed me out because, sometimes I think we're creating stumbling blocks for people as we do infighting. There's eternal arguments and there's non-eternal arguments. Like the post-trib rapture versus a pre-trib rapture and stuff like that. Some things are just non-eternal. And we have people that are not saved that are paying attention. And I just want to get back on track with what Paul did, and that is preach Christ crucified, and that's it. And here's the video, the email he sent me. He said, "Your vids are powerful and thought-provoking, but I think what it really proves is that," he's talking about my question about my video, a question that demands an answer about the difference between that King James and the NIV and 1 John chapter 5, I believe it was, okay? So, but I think what it really proves, referring to the video, is that you are basing your faith on a story that has been written by someone and rewritten by many to suit their needs, and until it can be proved otherwise, that is exactly what it is, a story. Keep up the good work, as you always make me think. That's a bummer. That's a big bummer to me, because I would love to see him get saved. And he knows the story. And most people know the story. We are sinners, wretched sinners. If you practice a life of sin, okay, first of all, you need to come to the point of brokenness and realize you're a sinner. You've broken God's law. I don't care who you are, what lifestyle you're in, what your status is. We've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. End of story. Okay, now, if you claim you're a Christian and you're still practicing a life of sin, hate to break it to you, but you're not saved either. Okay, end of story. The word is clear. You practice sin, you are not of God. Okay, if you continue to fornicate, get drunk, practice homosexual lifestyle, lie and cheat and steal, and all the rest, you're practicing sin and you're not saved. That's just the way the word says it. And that's what we got to get back to. Christ crucified. If you're all those things and you're hearing my voice, Jesus came, humbled himself as a man, died a brutal death on the cross for you to have redemption in the blood of Christ. That's it. And Paul, who is probably the smartest guy that we'll ever know, did not come preaching with all this, fancy stuff. He came preaching Christ crucified. Christ crucified for who? For sinners that will humble themselves before God and be redeemed in the blood of Christ. So, why am I talking fast? Because I got a lot I want to read. I'm reading different versions here to get to the point that they all say the same thing. You're a wretched sinner in need of salvation and redemption through the blood of Christ is the only way it comes. So, let's start here. New King. Okay, I'm going to read mine first. I've been reading this King James Easy Reader because I like it. Okay, it's what I really like it. So that's it. So Psalm 5 from this version, verse 4. For you are not a God that has pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with you. The foolish shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. Worker of iniquity is someone that practices sin. So what does the New King James say? For you are not a God who takes pleasure in wickedness, nor shall evil dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. King James. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. The NLT, God, you take no pleasure in wickedness. You cannot tolerate the sins of the wicked. Therefore the proud may not stand in your presence, for you hate all who do evil. ESV, for you are not a God who delights in wickedness. Evil may not dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand before your eyes. You hate all evildoers. The NIV, you are not a God who takes pleasure in evil. With you the wicked cannot dwell. The arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong. Okay, now getting on to the next verse. 1 Corinthians 1, verse 22. For the Jews require a sign and the Greeks seek after wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified. To the Jews a stumbling block, and to the Greeks foolishness. New King James, sorry. For Jews request a sign and Greeks seek after wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified. To the Jews a stumbling block, and to the Greeks foolishness. King James, for the Jews require a sign and the Greeks seek after wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified. Unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. NLT, it is foolishness to the Jews who ask for signs from heaven, and it is foolish to the Greeks who seek human wisdom. So when we preach that Christ was crucified, the Jews are offended, and the Gentiles say it is all nonsense. ESV, for Jews demand signs and Greeks seek wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to the Jews and folly to the Gentiles. But those who are called both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. Okay, NIV. Okay, I missed a... No, I got it. Okay, for since in the wisdom of God the world did not know God through wisdom, it pleased God through the folly of what we preach to save those who believe. For Jews demand signs and Greeks seek wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to the Jews and folly to the Gentiles. Okay, 1 Corinthians 2. What? Verse 1 and 2. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring to you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you save Jesus Christ and Him crucified. New King James, and I, brethren, when I came to you, did not come with excellence of speech or of wisdom, declaring to you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. King James, and I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you save Jesus Christ and Him crucified. NLT, when I first came to you, dear brothers and sisters, I didn't use lofty words and impressive wisdom to tell you God's secret plan. For I decided that while I was with you, I would forget everything except Jesus Christ, the one who is crucified. ESV, and I, when I came to you, brothers, did not come proclaiming to you the testimony of God with lofty speech or wisdom, for I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. NIV, when I came to you, brothers, I did not come with eloquence or superior wisdom as I proclaimed to you the testimony about God, for I resolved to know nothing while I was with you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And I'm running out of time here. I'm just going to leave you with this. The point is, they all say, and I understand that, I get the arguments. I mean, I'm not going that deep. I mean, I did that whole trying to figure things out thing when I started my business, and I had to dig in and learn stuff. I'm spent on it. I'm just going to, going forward, I'm just going to focus on what Paul did here, and that is, we are wretched sinners in need of redemption, and preach Jesus Christ and Him crucified for the sins of the world, those that will humble themselves before Him. And you know what? I know mighty men of God that use the NLT. I know mighty men of God that use the NIV, the ESV, the King James, the New King James. There's plenty of them out there. Let's get back to preaching Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And remember that they're watching. The non-believers are watching. Let's be a good representative for Jesus Christ and all of it. Gentleness, respect, and love. All right, well, peace. We'll see ya.